Good morning, folks. This is Darth Rabbit 07 coming to you today with another quick review. Micro Galaxy Squadron might be a little bit low on the shelves because we got some Wave ones in my area and some of the V-Wings. And I had this from Amazon in a bundle. Got a hold of Dooku. I suggest the bundles if you can get it online, but the thrill of the hunt is just stagnant. With all that said and done, make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Let's get into the V-Wing. Thank you again for all my subscribers. You guys totally rock. And a little backdrop before we get into the review. It's just really too pretty not to have that in the background there. And there is the V-Wing on the turntable with the clone pilot and the R4P17 droid that was not in the other one. I'm gonna post a picture like right here showing you that the original one of these that I opened from Target yesterday and in the short did not have these two in here. The top was busted. They give me a 10% off. I didn't even pick up on it till I actually got it open in the car, and I was like, oh wow, it's not even there. So then here's a look at the back of the box there. You got the V-Wings collectible blueprint card. I might have these off on the side. I still haven't cut the ones that I've opened up just yet. It has a front landing pod there, or stabilizer there. These wings act as the back version there. You got Poe Dameron's black X-Wing. You got Anakin with this ring, the Delta Fighter. You got the Solus one, and Poe's ship that gets 86 at the very beginning of The Force Awakens as the chases. I really wish the chases would just be part of the main line. People want these as much as they want these. Chases in a Star Wars series like this doesn't make any sense to me, but I also don't do this stuff. If you zoom in here, you can see it's got 270 degrees from this to this position, and then the other one just kind of folds down there. According to that, these things on the one I opened were a little bit loose and floppy, and you do got an eject button underneath the fuselage of the ship to pop the R4 droid out of there. And the ship is a beautiful looking precursor tie. I think the fuselage looks very A-Wing, especially when it's folded up like this with the extra S-folds there. But yeah, Starfighter class running about $14 there on the shelves. If you do the Amazon with the mystery bundle, you spend $19 and you get a chance at one of the chases. And that's about going to do it for the box. Oh yeah, pause and scan there if you're looking in store, but you should be able to find these pretty readily available, as these clog up the Starfighter class, and the light armor class is not at Target whatsoever in my part of the country. Comment below if you don't have any light armor class there. I really wish that the planogram Target would get it back on there, because Walmart gets it, but then Walmart's got Asajj Ventress A-Wings out the wazoo. I see our West Coast friends and Midwest folks are getting in Series 5. Series 3 still clogging the shelves. Let's get these guys on clearance stores that have them, and get the old stuff off there so we get the new stuff in. Jazzwares, you gotta do a better job at that. You seem to do really good with the Squishmallows. Let's do better with these guys. Around on the back of the card, you have Anakin's Jedi Starfighter from Revenge of the Sith. And you have a Vulture droid chasing it in the heat of battle. The V-Wings came in there in Revenge of the Sith, especially escorting old Anakin back there to the back end of it. There's nothing really on this part of the card, so it's just a space backdrop. You can utilize that if you see fit. And in the front here, you had the clone pilot and R4 on its own little blister. I love this. And if you look at the back, it's a 1-for-1, and boom, there's what your hologram is. So you got the hologram of the ship and you got the hologram of the figurines. These just seem to get better detailed and could use a little bit of a black wash, like with the stuff on the chest there. Look really amazing. Let's get them out of the box and get them on the turntable with the V-Wing. And I hope their mileage may vary, but these flopped like crazy. Didn't have the rubber band on the other V-Wing. Might have been previously open. I was just trying to clear the shelves and see if it would reset the count so we could get the new stuff in. There's a side profile there, back profile there. Looks really sharp. And the other side, you got the button there for the droid. You got the stabilizer there. Nicely detailed. Could probably use a little bit of black wash. I might get into doing that to help some of the details pop, because there is a lot of fine detailing. Paint being used, awesome. You got the symbol there on the side of the ship, and you got it in between. Let's take this on off of here. And a quick look to show you that so your mileage does vary thing. This was a busted ship. It got the figurines taken out of it. It does have its little thing and it kind of sits there. So you can see the difference between a busted one and a good one on the turntable right away. We can zoom on in and show off the difference between the new and the good and the old and busted. And this one will be going back pretty soon, but there's a side by side. If you decide to army build, hopefully your stuff will do what this one does and lock into place and what have you. So we're gonna get that guy off of the turntable now and show off the ship and its crew there on the turntable. I love the droids that come with these. Dig these little simple articulated version renditions to be with the ships, and they usually go in my ships and don't come back out. Don't want to lose them. That's the best place for them. So there's another spin around. We can get the measuring tape out here and show it off real quick. There's your height there of the droid, and the height there of the figurines just a little above an inch. And from top to bottom with the S-foils closed up, it's about 1 3/4 height from the platform to the top of the ship there. And then lengthwise, whoops, didn't mean to hit the button. From front to back, you got about 6 inches with the foils closed that way. The other ones will be a little bit harder to get into, as we're gonna put those guys in there and show that off real quick. And I absolutely love it when you got some play feature with the foils and the stuff and the things. So then you got the astromech that goes right down inside of there and pegs into place. And then from there you got this part that'll open and show off the nice details of the cockpit. And we'll get the pilot on in there, showing off the pilot and the astromech inside of the cockpit. And we'll go ahead and close that back down there, and it clicks into place. And this can come up and hide the astromech a little bit, kind of act like shields as it's taking off and flying. You can open the foils up into a very familiar configuration here from Revenge of the Sith. You do get that precursor TIE fighter look. Let's fold up that landing gear and show that off right there. Boom. It's like a mix between a space boat and a TIE with an A-wing sprinkled in. Love the way that back profile looks. It definitely evokes precursor TIE fighter. The front, even with the details in the inside, kind of give that TIE fighter feel on both parts. And these just coming up like this just is awesome. The blasters are nicely detailed. Everything feels so good in hand. And we'll do a little quick measurements while I got it in hand to let you see from top to bottom there. You got about 4 1/4 inches with the foils expanded. Top to bottom there, 1 1/2 with those other foils there. And from front to back, you got right about 5 1/4 or 1/4, 5 1/4 front to back. And width wise, you've got 2 5/8 width. Looks really good. I love the profiles in this stuff. If I had a flight display stand, I think we could utilize this little thing, and or they got them to where that holds them up from the bottom there to display the flight mode. It's very switchable around just like it is right here. And if you're a fan of the precursor TIE fighters, the V-Wings here, I mean, these things are awesome in hand. I really do like this a lot. Moving into some final thoughts. Is this series for everybody? Well, with the way distribution is right now, it may not be. It's not the easiest to collect, but when you do find stuff on the shelf and or you finally do open it, you're rewarded with some top-notch models that will fit in a small space. And the only thing that can make it better is if it had some flight stands. So now if we can get that reset in our neck of the woods here on the East Coast, the folks in the Midwest and out on the West Coast are seeing a lot of the new light armor class like this. Or actually, this is Starfighter class, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking at the box real quick again. I do believe this is Starfighter class. So light armor. I always thought of a TIE fighter being, you know, a light armor, but this one is classified as a Starfighter. But all the same, these are clogging up the Starfighter class pegs and the Targets and Walmarts around here, and there is no light armor at Target, like I was mentioning before, which is a big pain. It's time to clearance some of that stuff out. Target and Walmart, Jazzwares, you shouldn't be pushing back on them and allow them to do so. Or your product will have a hard time selling in brick and mortar, and it's a real pain to do it online. It takes away the thrill of the hunt kind of thing. Let's also consider doing away with those chases and stuff. Can't wait to have a chance to get the stealth one, but I'll probably never see it. It'll be just one of those double lock things if I do find it. Thanks again for watching this quick review of the V-Wing Starfighter from the Micro Galaxy Squadron series. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thank you again for about 8 minutes of your time. Y'all have an excellent day out there. May the force be with you guys always.